When Emma first brought it up, I thought she was joking. We'd been married 6 years, together for almost a decade, and in that time I'd never once doubted her loyalty. But one evening over dinner, she set down her glass of wine, looked me straight in the eye, and said, "What do you think about an open marriage?" I almost choked. An open marriage? You mean you with other men? Me with other women? She nodded, her expression cool, rehearsed. Yes. I think it could be freeing. A way for us to explore without limits. It wouldn't mean I love you any less. Her words stung like poison wrapped in silk. I searched her face for humor, but she was dead serious. For a moment, I thought about everything we'd built, the vows we exchanged, the late nights planning for a house, the laughter we'd shared. I finally said, "Emma, if you want to be with other men, just say so. But don't expect me to be part of it. I married you. Not a lifestyle." Her smile faltered. "So that's a no?" "It's a hell no," I said firmly. "If you're unsatisfied, then we need to talk about us, not about bringing strangers into our marriage." She didn't fight me then. She just leaned back, arms crossed, and muttered, "You're too traditional. Maybe too boring." Those words stuck. Weeks passed, but something in her had shifted. She grew distant, always glued to her phone. Nights once filled with conversation became silent, her eyes locked on a glowing screen. When I asked, she brushed me off. "Work," she'd say. "I'm tired." But my gut knew better. One Friday night, she said she was meeting colleagues for drinks. The way she dressed made my alarm bells ring, the tight black dress she hadn't worn in years, heels too high for a casual night out. She smelled like temptation, not exhaustion. I kissed her cheek, pretending not to notice the way she flinched. As she left, I made a decision. I followed. I parked a block away from the bar she claimed she'd be at. Sure enough, her car wasn't there. I tracked her phone with the location app she'd forgotten I still had access to. The little blue dot pulsed across town, stopping outside a boutique hotel. My heart sank, then hardened. I sat there for hours, my mind racing, waiting for proof. At midnight, the hotel lobby doors opened, and she walked out, not alone, but with a tall man whose hand slid down her back as if it belonged there. They kissed, shamelessly, under the soft glow of the streetlight. I felt my stomach twist, a mix of nausea and rage, but I didn't confront them. No. Not yet. Instead, I went home. And I planned. The next morning, when she slipped through the door pretending she'd been at her friend Megan's place, I greeted her with calm indifference. She mistook it for ignorance. That was her first mistake. Over the next week, I collected evidence. Screenshots of texts she carelessly left open on her laptop. Hotel receipts forwarded to our shared email account. Even a photo of the two of them together outside that hotel, which I captured myself on another night. Every piece of betrayal was another nail in the coffin of our marriage. Finally, I laid my trap. One Saturday evening, I invited Emma's parents over for dinner. I cooked her favorite meal, poured the wine, and smiled as though everything was fine. Halfway through, I stood and said, "There's something I need to show you all." Emma looked puzzled, then uneasy. I pulled out the folder I had prepared and slid it across the table. Inside were the photos, the screenshots, the receipts, undeniable proof of her affair. Her mother gasped, her father's face turned red with rage, and Emma sat frozen, her eyes wide, lips trembling. "Emma asked me for an open marriage," I said evenly. I refused. She chose to cheat instead. Under this roof, behind my back, while pretending we were fine. Tears welled in her eyes. "James, please." No, I cut her off. "You wanted freedom. You have it now. No husband. No marriage. Just the man you thought was worth throwing away everything for." Her parents didn't defend her. They couldn't. The silence in the room was louder than any shouting could have been. That night, I packed a bag and left. I didn't slam the door or curse her name. I left quietly, but with dignity. I filed for divorce the following Monday, sending the same evidence to my lawyer. There would be no drawn-out battles, no second chances. Just clean separation and consequences she had brought on herself. Months passed. I learned she tried to make it work with the man she'd cheated with, but like most affairs built on secrecy and lust, it crumbled. Friends who once admired her looked at her differently. Her parents, though they loved her, never forgot the shame of that dinner. And Emma? She reached out once, a late-night message that read, "I made a mistake. Can we talk?" I didn't respond. Because the truth was, she hadn't just cheated on me. She betrayed the very foundation of what we'd built. She'd asked for my blessing to destroy our marriage, and when I refused, she did it anyway. That's not love. That's selfishness wrapped in a pretty face. And me? I rebuilt. Slowly, painfully, but honestly. I learned that sometimes revenge isn't about shouting or rage, it's about walking away, letting the guilty sit with the ruins of what they destroyed, while you move forward into something better. Emma thought an open marriage would set her free. In the end, it only freed me.